What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to People of the Past. If this is your first time, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, leaving a comment. Today I'm in Lincoln Cemetery here in Atlanta to pay my respects to another one of the country's great civil rights leader, and that person is Rev Ralph Abernathy. So let's get going, and along the way we'll talk about him. Mr. Abernathy was the 10th of 12 children born to William and Laveri Abernathy on March 11th, 1926 in Linden, Alabama. His family was a little bit more successful than most blacks at that time, and they owned like 500-acre farm. After attending Linden Academy, he enlisted in the Army during World War II. He was promoted to platoon sergeant before being discharged. Returning home, he enrolled at Alabama State University. As a sophomore, he was elected president of the student council and led a successful hunger strike to raise the quality of food service on campus. While still in college, he decided to go into ministry, and in 1948 he became an ordained Baptist minister. In 1950, he hosted his own radio show and was the first black disc jockey on an all-white station. In 1951, he became senior pastor of First Baptist Church, which was the largest black church in Montgomery, Alabama. In 1952, he would marry Juanita Jones, and they would have 5 children together. Tragedy would occur when their first child, Ralph Abernathy Jr., would pass away just 2 days after birth. And a little side note, his grandson, Micah Abernathy, is currently a safety for the Atlanta Falcons. In 1954, Mr. Abernathy would meet Martin Luther King Jr., who was just beginning to start his ministry at a nearby church. Abernathy would mentor Dr. King, and the two would become close friends. In 1955, King and Abernathy, along with a few other activists, created the Montgomery Improvement Association after Rosa Parks was arrested, and they started the bus boycott, in which Abernathy's home and church were bombed. In 1957, Abernathy and several others founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And in 1961, Abernathy would offer his church to the Freedom Riders, who were white and black people who traveled the South to protest segregation. However, his church would be attacked yet again. Mr. Abernathy was said by Dr. King that he, meaning Abernathy, was a source of strength during times of trouble during the Civil Rights Movement. Master Abernathy would stay by Dr. King's side, even standing a few feet away when Dr. King was assassinated. After the assassination of Dr. King, Reverend Abernathy led the march for the sanitation workers in Memphis that King and Abernathy had planned. He would also travel to Cape Kennedy, Florida, to protest the Apollo 11 launch, saying the money would be better spent feeding the poor, and what we can do in space and exploitation, we demand we do for starving people. He did acknowledge the heroism of the 3 men, though. Later in life, he would run for Congress and continue his campaign for equal rights and opportunity for the poor. In 1989, his autobiography called "And the Walls Came Tumbling Down" was released. It was about his relationship with him and Dr. King. It also drew some controversy from other civil rights activists such as Jesse Jackson. Now, I have read the book, and I know what the controversy is about, but I'd rather not say. I do recommend, however, that if you want to know, just find the book. It's easily available and read it. Over his life, he would be honored with over 300 awards and citations. And on April 17th, 1990, he would pass away from blood clots in his heart and lungs. at the age of 64. And here's his final resting place, the Reverend Dr. Ralph David Abernathy, 1926 to 1990. I tried. And his wife. I lived a life fighting for freedom, justice, and equality. Well, there you have it. He was. I really do recommend you checking out the book. As the Walls Came Tumbling Down. It's a very good read. Like I said, there is a part in there that you kind of makes you question things, a few things about Dr. King. But hey, I respect and admire anybody that stands up and fights for what they believe in. And I truly believe in Dr. King and Reverend Abernathy. So, thanks for tuning in. Remember, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you on the next People of the Past.